Welcome to Hospitality Insider on Koni TV with your host, Connie Kim. Hospitality Insider is an intimate look of the who's who in the hospitality industry. Up close and personal, you'll meet amazing leaders and discover their stories of successes and challenges that will inspire, educate, and entertain. With your help, we unite, we co-create, and we support each other to create better service in the hospitality industry and contribute to the world. Hospitality Insider, your window to hospitality excellence.
Welcome to another episode of Hospitality Insider on Koni TV. Our honored guest today is Pratik Patel, chairman of AHOA, American Asian Hotel Owners Association. And he also owns another company. It's called REM. So hi Pratik, thank you for joining us today. And would you please give our audiences what is AHOA means?
Got it. So AHOA, the Asian American Hotel Owners Association, is over 14,000 members, and we're the voice of hospitality owners in the industry. Our association is built on advocacy, really representing the needs of any hotel owner throughout the United States and making sure that their interests are protected and either helping them make money, save money, or protect their investments.
Well, that is a big challenge there, isn't it?
It's a very broad topic. It's a very broad topic.
Yes, I know that the organization has grown so much, so fast. You said 14,000 members?
You got it. So the last year and a half, we've gone through such a great renaissance in our vision, in our model, in the way that we move forward with business for hotel owners. And our membership proves that. We went 2 years ago from 10,000 members to now at 14,000.
What do you think is the reason? How do you create that success?
The success was basically built around teamwork of leadership. With our past chairman, Pratik Patel, continuing on with myself, with our vice chairman, Jimmy, with our current treasurer, Bruce, and our new incoming secretary, Bhavish, we've been able to transform the association to think more like the minds of second-generation hoteliers, asking for more of leverage or ability to see what are the topics and ideas that are really important to us as owners.
So you said about advocacy, about your voice together, and how that presented to either Washington or how you can make all that process happen.
You got it. So initially, we never had a voice in D.C. And under the leadership of our current president, Chip Rogers, he's been able to expand our government affairs department to substantiated amounts.
Right.
We've seen so much progress in D.C. Just by being able to voice our opinion about how legislation affects us. Our goal was simple. We don't want to say yes or no to any legislation. We just want to let you know how it's going to affect a hotel owner and our ability to create jobs and sustain jobs.
Right.
Simply, that's the only thing that we needed to tell our elected officials. And starting with our PAC and then moving on to active legislation, then moving our members into building relationships.
Right.
We've been able to start a grassroots effort and really becoming a key factor in DC when it comes to lodging and hospitality.
Right now, there's a lot of talk about new laws that's coming up that is going to affect a lot of small business owners. And how do you feel about that?
Oh, there's tons of new laws, and our industry typically in the past was fragmented, and we didn't have a unified voice. Over the last year and a half, we built great coalitions and great partnerships, whether it's with the HLA or the U.S. Travel Association or the USIBC, to make sure that we're united. Initially, the elected officials were listening to different people, smaller groups, talk about how certain issues impacted them. But as a unified voice, we've become a large power player. And every day there's legislation that's introduced that will affect our owners. And we tell them the importance of getting involved and contacting their elected representatives. But we haven't just been able to do it on the association point. We've been able to do it because we engage our members, we engage our ambassadors, we engage the ground troops throughout the U.S. to make sure they contact their appropriate congressmen and senators and elected officials. And so now, elected officials have representatives in hospitalities that live in their districts that are telling them what's important, whether it's minimum wage, whether it's a 1031 exchange, whether it's health care and the Affordable Care Act, we represent Main Street. So when legislation is passed in DC, it's passed with a theory of how it's going to affect everybody. We represent the view that says how it really is going to affect us. Right. And we can give them the examples of how it does impact us from a day-to-day level.
So be aware of them, and education, that's exactly what you need and what you're doing with them. But let's say that, what is the difference, the hoteliers, and compare the other small business and all these other laws? Do you see any differences?
You know, most of the laws that affect hotels from a national point of view affect all small businesses, right? But we're in a business where our goal is to take care of people, right? So whether it's our guests or our teams that we have in place, that's our focus. What we're seeing now, though, is a set of legislation, since it can't pass on the national level, is starting to target localized markets. For example, in Los Angeles, a specific law to target hospitality, right, to raise the minimum wage just for hospitality or hotels.
Oh, I see. Okay, so let's say I'm a hotel owner. So now in your organization, you have owners, you have suppliers, and what else?
Well, we have everything. So most of our owners are maybe operators, may manage their own assets, right? You have everything from the independent hotelier that manages his own hotel, works as front desk, housekeeping, kind of does all the labor requirements to make sure that he can save up to live the American dream. Then you have the entry-level franchisee to the higher-level franchisee that's doing the Marriott or Hiltons. We also have the guys that are doing the first prototypical properties. For example, the first hotel, the first AC hotel in New Orleans, done by our past chairman, Mehul. Right? So we have the entire range of owners, operators, developers, people that are on the grassroots level working at hotels. We kind of range across the board as an association, so when we build our cases, we get everybody's input.
That's fantastic. That is beautiful, because you have together, you have a bigger voice. So now, what is the biggest benefit for us as an owner, as an example, from AHOA?
Well, our association is now providing a platform for unity. Initially, it was unity amongst just the AHOA members. Now, with the last vision we've enacted over the past year and a half, it's unity amongst the entire industry. We don't just represent the Asian American hotel owner. The topics that we deal with on a day-to-day level really represent every hotel owner, whether it's a REIT or a trust or a larger private company. And so with the collaboration and the unity amongst the industry itself, the benefit to hotel owners is across the board, and not just within the AHOA members itself.
When we come back, let's hear about how he got started into the hospitality industry and what his passion is. Don't go away.
With all La Quinta's peppy people packing on the perks and pampering.
How's your room, Steve?
Love it.
Good meeting, Steve.
You know what salesman Steve Hatfield does? He brings home the bacon.
Daddy's home.
La Quinta Inns and Suites. Book your next successful stay at lq.com.
Welcome to Hospitality Insider on Koni TV with your host, Connie Kim. Hospitality Insider is an intimate look of the who's who in the hospitality industry. Up close and personal, you'll meet amazing leaders and discover their stories of successes and challenges that will inspire, educate, and entertain. With your help, we unite. We co-create. Hospitality Insider, your window to hospitality excellence. Finally, a hospitality event that produces business, not just leads. Vitac's winning formula is connecting top lodging executives with top suppliers. This customized relationship building is why hospitality leaders have rated Vitac the #1 most productive and cost-effective event in the industry. Industry executives choose Vitac to be the platform to make the deals to grow their business because it works. At Vitac, you'll receive 18 to 22 one-on-one personalized meetings with pre-qualified decision makers who have a need for your specific products and services. 20 to 30 additional impromptu meetings. All-inclusive gourmet food and beverage hosted at 5-star event locations all over the U.S. Vitac sells out faster than any other event in the industry. Experience Vitac once, and you won't want to miss another.
Welcome back to Hospitality Insider with Pratik Patel, Chairman of AHOA. And let's hear about how he got started and how he has made all the way to 14,000 members. Hi Pratik, thank you so much for sharing your story. And let's see, it really came a long way. And I understand Asian Americans actually own over 60% of all hotel rooms in the United States. Is that true?
You got it. So 25 years ago, our association was created to represent some of the minor issues that we're dealing with that were pertaining to just the Asian American growing in the lodging segment.
Right.
Today, our members own over 1 out of every 2 hotels, over 22,000 hotels in the U.S., everything from independents to large resorts, right, to the Marriott's, Hiltons of the world, to the convention center hotels. We're across the board. So we went from an association that was created to represent just a minority interest in lodging to really now representing a majority interest in lodging, which encompasses the entire ownership basis.
I know that you're second generation of the hoteliers, and share with us how your father or mother got started and what is it, how did you become who we are today?
You got it. So my mother and father got started because when they came to the United States, they ended up getting in the same business that our family members were already in. And our family members already knew. They taught them the one thing they only knew, which was motels and hotels. And so my father ended up working a few different jobs to save up enough money. My mother was working a few different jobs to save up enough money. Once they gathered enough funds, they borrowed some more from extended family and ended up buying their first independent hotel or motel in Nevada.
Oh,
and that's a story of most of our members, right? They rely on their extended communities to help them when they come to the U.S. The problem that we see nowadays is if you're an outsider coming in, immigrating into the United States, you really can't do much without credit.
Right.
And the credit that was given to our family was given to by our extended family, which helped them start off in the business. From there, they sold that motel, we moved to San Antonio, they bought another one there. For example, after that, all of my father's family came over. He did the same thing for them that was done for him. And so that's how the Asian American hotelier really got to where they're at. Now some grew quicker than others, some grew slower than others, some are still in a growth process. But our community, our internal Asian background really helps people get started when they first come to the country. And then after that, it's the education that was provided to us by our first generation that is letting us just propel and think of different concepts and ideas to really go a lot faster and stronger.
So what do you think is the formula that really makes that growth?
Well, I think that for our community, it was initially the atmosphere, what we brought from our own culture.
Yes.
Hospitality was a great fit for the Asian American, right? Because everything in our homeland was based on reputation, interaction, personal interactions. And in the lodging business, right, that's the first key goal, is to naturally and genuinely care about others. And so hospitality's always been a great fit.
So it's just like a synergy.
It is, it's a synergy.
Just meet what is naturally happening and then just all together. That teamwork, it's very powerful.
You got it, and it was with a lot of hard work.
Yes.
Right, I mean, some of the, I know my parents when they were back in India, they would work numerous hours and work hard without ever having to have the ability to show results.
Right.
Right, because that was just the way the system worked. Here, they were able to do the same amount of work, right, and be able to show tremendous results and grow so much quicker and really just expand.
So now you're second generation. I mean, the whole generation is a second generation, right?
Most of it, most of it. There's still some first generation. Our first generation is still a great resource for us.
Right.
They're still actively involved in the industry. They're still our foundation. That's something that we can't live without, right?
Yes, so you grew up in San Antonio. You were born in San Antonio then?
No, I was born in Nevada.
Oh,
I moved to San Antonio when I was once pretty much raised in San Antonio is where I was at.
So that's where you are now.
Yes.
And so now you have your own company that with a partnership. And so tell us a little bit about REM Hospitality.
Got it. So REM Hospitality is between me and my partner Anand Bhakta. We were close childhood friends. Our family was friends. And just to tell you the closeness of how our community works, Anand's mother and my father grew up in the same village in India. And so those ties were brought over here. We ended up being competitors to some level initially when we got started in the business. Both of us had gone out into the real world, as we called it, and didn't want to be in lodging, and ended up coming back. And then we ended up competing against each other in San Antonio. And one day we just sat down and said, it's probably better for us to work together than just to work apart. And so we kind of joined everything up as one big company. And with that, we're able to focus on what we like to focus on, and that's really growing the entire portfolio for everybody around us.
Right, you have all different brands under REM, right?
Yeah, we have everything from independents to entry-level franchises, the Accor properties, the Wyndham properties, we have IHG properties. So we have across the board, we have a good spectrum of properties itself, right? We also do different other transactions as well, so we're all over.
So now, do you own those properties and manage, or some of them own and just managing? How do that work?
So we only manage really what either him or I have a ownership interest in.
Okay.
Right, so we take our concentration and our abilities and really apply it to increasing the value of our assets that both of us, either he owns something of or I own something of, or together we own a portion of.
Oh, I see.
Right, so that's everything that's done under the umbrella of an REM is what is really to drive for everybody. Because remember, the assets that initially that we brought into the mix may be him and his family, or it may be me and my family. But at the end of the day, the goal was the same, right? Increase the overall portfolio by applying modern day techniques, management, right? Making sure customers are happy, really good relationship models.
Yeah, so we are now talking about a lot of millionaires that demanding all this new technology. That how do you handle that?
Oh, there's technology all the way around, right? I think that with what's happening in technology, that's really the only I think that the only commodity in life is either time, and now if you look at it within hotels, it's really bandwidth, right?
Yes.
Folks want to get as much bandwidth that they can get, right? Nothing is ever fast enough now, right? With the access of information at our fingertips, we want to see real-time data quicker, faster, and have the ability to comprehend it in a smoother fashion. And for our guests, that's exactly what they want. They want to be connected, not necessarily internally, but they want to be connected to the entire world.
Okay, when we come back, let's find out what is his future plan and what he sees all this industry growth is going to do to the organization as well as his company. Don't go away.
When LaQuinta.com sends a ready for you alert the second his room is ready, you know what salesman Alan Ames becomes?
I think the numbers speak for themselves. I'm sold.
A selling machine! Ready for you alert only at LQ.com.
Welcome to Hospitality Insider on Koni TV with your host, Connie Kim. Hospitality Insider is an intimate look of the who's who in the hospitality industry. Up close and personal, you'll meet amazing leaders and discover their stories of successes and challenges that will inspire, educate, and entertain. With your help, we unite. We co-create. Hospitality Insider, your window to hospitality excellence. Finally, a hospitality event that produces business, not just leads. Vitak's winning formula is connecting top lodging executives with top suppliers. This customized relationship building is why hospitality leaders have rated Vitak the #1 most productive and cost-effective event in the industry. Industry executives choose Vitak to be the platform to make the deals to grow their business because it works. At Vitak, you'll receive 18 to 22 one-on-one personalized meetings with pre-qualified decision makers who have a need for your specific products and services. 20 to 30 additional impromptu meetings. All-inclusive gourmet food and beverage hosted at 5-star event locations all over the U.S. Vitak sells out faster than any other event in the industry. Experience Vitak once, and you won't want to miss another.
I am Fausto Jimenez, Vice President for Standards at Grupo Posadas, and you're watching.
You are watching.
And you're watching.
You are watching.
You are watching Koni TV.
Koni TV.
Koni TV.
Koni TV.
KoniTV.tv.
Welcome back, Hospitality Insider with Pratik Patel, Chairman of AHOA and also Principal of REM Hospitality. Pratik, thank you so much for sharing these wonderful stories. And now, you have accomplished a lot. I mean, as individual, as a whole community, and also whole organization. Now, what is waiting for you? What is your plan from this moment?
For the association, we're an association that really thrives through creative leadership. And our asset base is really the amount of time that our members take volunteering to bring ideas to the table and really help drive the needle of the industry forward, right?
Yes.
And so with the association, I think we have tremendous and ample opportunities that are going to come present themselves. Why? Because we're now engaging members to give back. And not just their thoughts and ideas, their time, but they're coming, right? And they're coming at numbers that we've never seen participation before. And so we're excited to see what the future of AHOA has, because I can't tell you what the ideas of tomorrow are, but I guarantee you that 14,000 members are going to put their brains together and really come up with ideas for this association to focus on that are going to drive the needle for everybody.
Isn't that fantastic that you give them voices? So that is the principle of a whole organization is running. And so you also have suppliers to join as members, right? So give us a little bit about what is the benefit of a suppliers to join your organization?
Well, for our partners, number one, with 14,000 owners, we give you access to the decision makers. And not only that, there's a grassroots effort that we have as an association. We host probably 130 meetings throughout the year.
Wow.
And in different cities throughout the U.S. It's impossible for somebody to get out on their own and really get to that many folks.
Right.
However, with the association itself, that foundation, that platform for you to engage our members and what's good for them or help them make their lives easier is a reason why partners should join. It should always be a win-win for our partners. Our partners should come to the association and really be able to showcase their talents, their goods, their efficiencies, and our members will take it, because guess what? Everybody, even owners, want to make sure that their lives are easier, right? We don't have the time and energy and bandwidth to focus on everything, and that's why we rely on our partners to do that. And this association gives them a back and forth relationship model that's built on a grassroots effort. And the partners really, that's their key, right? Is if they embrace that model and they come to the association, they can really get a lot more business and drive a lot more out of our members.
So if we could ask you how to choose designers or suppliers, so is there any formula that you can think what you're looking for from them?
For designers, right, I think what it is that we want to see finished products, right? We want to see theories and concepts put together in an entire package that just looks good, right? I don't think that, from my point of view, and I know the leadership team around me, when we see somebody engaged and really looking around and finding it, right, and taking that time to put the energy together to put together a package that's going to look great, that appeals to us. Why? Because it appeals to our guests. Right? I don't think that we have enough time, right, to really get there. And so it has to be handed to us kind of on a silver platter. But once it's handed to us and we see it in action, I mean, I know the way that I've chosen designers in the past is I've walked into other properties and said, wow, who did this place? This place looks tremendous, right? And the minute that somebody gives a recommendation and I find out who it is, right, guess what? I'm engaging, because we all want more for our guests.
Absolutely.
We want to give them that customized approach that just looks good and feels good. It makes folks feel like they're in a valued environment.
That's right. We always touch about the sustainability in our station. So what is AHOA doing toward saving the earth?
Recently we implemented a partnership with the program out of Phoenix. And so what we do is engage our members to participate in these recycling sustainability projects that they can really start taking care. As you noticed after the State of the Union, the number one impact is our global health is in danger.
That's right.
Right? And there will be a time that maybe not my generation, but the next generation, the generation after that, will be impacted.
Right.
It's our job to do what's right.
Yes.
Right? And it takes a little bit of time and a little bit of effort, but that's worth it.
Yeah,
right? And
especially in United States, I understand we waste 4 times more than any other country. So which means we need 4 planets.
Yeah, you got it. This is the country of wanting to do everything and have everything at your fingertips. Sometimes we take for granted for what the resources that we have around us, even the natural resources that we have around us.
That's great. So we're doing a lot of things. Awareness is most important things at the moment. But we also have something that we like to share with you. Is always we have a channel called the Giving Back. So you talked about a little bit about all giving back, not just ideas. What are the activities that you engaging in AHOA that is giving back?
Got it. So this year, what we did do was we donated to, I think, 10 separate charities, to make sure that we're giving back to the right causes that are important to our members. When it comes to sustainability green models, right, what the association gives back from what our members give back are usually two separate paths. But what we're trying to do now is give our members multiple paths, right? So whether it's doing a recycling program at their hotels and putting that in place, right? Or whether it's doing any kind of send overseas for children in education, we want to make sure that we give them the right access to the right path and let them choose what pertains to them. Because what we figured out is very important, is that when you emotionally connect with one of our members to do what's right, you have a lifetime participant in that field, right? You have a lifetime engager in a program.
That's fantastic.
Right. So what's good for me may not be good for somebody else, and so we have to give them multiple options to figure out what's good for everybody. So
now we have a few minutes left, and for you to share your wisdom. And you have grown so fast, so much, and also contributed to the hospitality industry. Now, what is your words to give it to the audience? Is somebody who want to be just like you?
You know, I think the importance of giving back without any expectations is always important. You know, my mother and my father, you know, they weren't rich, you know, and what they did was when they came and the way they lived their life, they taught me the value of giving back to those that can't do for themselves. The reason that I joined the association is because at that point when I was first getting engaged, some say, you know, my parents said that I had a talent in communicating a message. And whether it was to elected officials or to brands or to our partners, it was my responsibility to communicate for those that may not be able to communicate for themselves to quite such an extent. And that's the reason why I do what I do, right? We want to make sure that our members who work hard, right? I mean, they're here because they've done it on their own. Nobody's giving them handouts. Nobody's giving them bailouts. They've put their own sweat equity. There's, you know, they've worked at properties and they've really grown on their own. And so it's my responsibility to try to help where I can, right? And without any expectation of return, my future goal is I want to make an impact to make sure that they can now live the fruit, right? They can enjoy their lives a little bit more. That what they've worked hard for is protected, right? And they can continue to grow without it being so hard as it was on the first generation when they initially came here.
That's an incredible leadership with really come from the heart and with a lot of love. And I appreciate you participating in the Koni Hospitality Insider. Thank you so much for joining us today. And would you come back?
My pleasure.
Thank you for watching Hospitality Insider on Koni TV. If you would like more information about Pratik Patel or any other episodes, go to konitv.tv. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Didi Kim with Darov Design, and you're watching.
And you're watching.
And you're watching Koni TV.
Koni TV.
Koni TV.
Koni TV. Koni TV. The first internet channel for the hospitality industry.
Watch and follow who she brings and what she brings to show you to inspire.
KoniTV.tv. I love it.
After instant holding a room for tonight with just his phone number, you know what Jerry Howell does?
We need ideas, people. Think. Synergistic integration.
He thinks outside the box!
I'm going for it. No?
Only La Quinta can instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
Finally, a hospitality event that produces business, not just leads. Vitac's winning formula is connecting top lodging executives with top suppliers. This customized relationship building is why hospitality leaders have rated Vitac the #1 most productive and cost-effective event in the industry. Industry executives choose Vitac to be the platform to make the deals to grow their business because it works. At Vitac, you'll receive 18 to 22 one-on-one personalized meetings with pre-qualified decision makers who have a need for your specific products and services. 20 to 30 additional impromptu meetings. All-inclusive gourmet food and beverage hosted at 5-star event locations all over the U.S. Vitac sells out faster than any other event in the industry. Experience Vitac once, and you won't want to miss another. Welcome to Hospitality Insider on Koni TV with your host, Connie Kim. Hospitality Insider is an intimate look of the who's who in the hospitality industry. Up close and personal, you'll meet amazing leaders and discover their stories of successes and challenges that will inspire, educate, and entertain. With your help, we unite, we co-create, and we support each other to create better service in the hospitality industry and contribute to the world. Hospitality Insider, your window to hospitality excellence.